Hi, I'm Jeff, Customer Success Manager at Gopin Leads, here with your Wednesday webinar. I'm going to wait just a couple of moments for more people to join us, and when they have, we'll jump straight in. I'm going to give it just 2 minutes. Okay, welcome everybody. I've given everyone a couple of minutes to join us, and now we are ready to go live. Welcome, my name is Jeff. I am the Customer Success Manager at Gopin Leads, and I'm here to present your course today on how to run a really good, really ethical email outreach campaign. We're going to jump in right now. I'm going to give one additional moment for anyone who isn't ready here to join us. All right, let's jump straight in and make sure that this is one of the best webinars you've ever attended. That's certainly my aim. Okay, so first of all, I want to welcome all of you to the webinar today. Really nice to have you here and with me on this. Well, I'm in South Africa. It's a bit of a cloudy afternoon. Let me know in the comments what the weather is like where you are and how you're feeling today. I hope you're all feeling super focused and ready to get your brain in gear and start your email campaign, Future Success. It's going to be good. So let's dive straight in. I want to say, just before we do jump in, if you are still watching on the Gopin Leads website, I want to encourage you to mouse over the YouTube window that you see on the website there, and you'll see the YouTube logo popping up on the bottom bar. When you hit the YouTube logo, it'll launch this webinar in YouTube's website natively, and that'll allow you to interact in the comments. I'm there, and you'll be able to talk to me as we go along. So, diving straight in, I want to encourage you all once again to interact in the comments. Mouse over the YouTube window in the Gopin Leads website if you are still watching on the website, and that'll launch the webinar directly in YouTube. So we're diving straight in. Why email growth marketing? Now dive into the comments and type me your answer as to why you think we should be bothering with talking about email growth marketing. And while you do that, I'm going to give you my reasons. Yours may be the same, yours may be different. Let's have a chat. Email is almost 40 times more effective than Facebook and Twitter combined in helping a business acquire new customers, which is fantastic if you think about it. It takes that success you could be having from both of those social media channels, multiplies it times 40, and that is a really, really good scenario to be in. Email marketing boasts a median return on investment of 122%, which is also massive. So what you have here is something that's not used as often as it should be and could be, something that potentially is becoming more popular these days, but something that is really powerful and is definitely going to make sure that you get even more success in your business. So for the few of you who have been here from the beginning, this is going to be a bit of a broken record for you. I'm going to say this again. For those of you who haven't heard, in case you are still watching on the Gopin Leads website, I want to encourage you to mouse over the window that you hear this video playing in, and you'll see the YouTube logo. When you hit the YouTube logo, you'll be able to launch this directly into YouTube, and that'll allow you to interact in the comments. I'm here, we are live, and if you want to comment, I absolutely will answer all of your questions. We have question and answer time sporadically throughout, and I'm going to continue. And if you want to ask anything, if you want to say hello, tell me what the weather's like on your side, pop me a message in the comments. We love interaction, and the more interaction, the better. So email prospecting probably has the highest return of investment on for any marketing channel. It costs no more than a few dollars per month. Everything we're doing here in this webinar is cheap or free. Certainly at the lowest level, it is free, depending on how much you want to get done in a day. I'll get to all of that later for you. Lots of stuff to explore. This is exciting because email prospecting has one of the fastest results as well. Using the tools I'm showing you today, you'll be able to do great things like comment directly and see precisely what is happening in your campaign in a really easy, really universal format. So, not everyone knows how to use emails effectively. This is the drawback. So your strategy may need work. You may be new to this completely. Keep watching this webinar. Pull your friends, your family, and anyone who you know could benefit from this and get them watching. We've got a comment here from Dancing Like Nobody's Watching. It's sunny in Brighton. Well, isn't that a turn up? It's sunny in Brighton and it's cloudy in South Africa. It's absolutely mind-blowing, isn't it, the way the weather works? But I suppose it swings and roundabouts. I hope it continues to be sunny for you for as long as possible. I hope you're enjoying it down there. Let's jump a bit forward. All of you are welcome to drop me a comment. Thanks for the comment there, Dance Like Nobody's Watching. And if you want to drop me a comment in the comments and you can't see how to do that, the chances are you're still watching this on the Gopin Leads website. Put your mouse to roll over the YouTube window within the website that you're watching me in now. And what you can do then is you can open the webinar directly into YouTube, allowing you to see the comments and interact along with everybody else. Let's talk about the growth marketing process. The growth marketing process is iterative. This means this is going to be something that you do over and over again. It's important because that's where your learning is. So, first step, start small in your local area. You'll want to test absolutely everything and measure the successes that you see and learn from your mistakes. When you know what works and what doesn't work, you can replicate what does work and do it again to make sure that you get the best results next time as well. Have a look at this process and think on a very basic level. This is a very basic layup of the process. Think about how yours compares. If you have a process right now, Look at the screen for a moment and tell me what your process is like by comparison. Drop me a message in the comments. If you're still watching on the website, in the YouTube window, if you put your mouse over the window, you'll see the YouTube logo. Click that and you'll be able to launch into YouTube itself and see the comments and interact along with everybody else. Think about this process. How similar is it to yours? This is the bare bones. This is almost the non-negotiables of growth marketing. You need to start small. Test everything you do. From that testing, you'll know what your successes are. You'll know what your mistakes are. You'll be able to repeat what works and stop doing what doesn't and do it all over again next time in a better way. So you need to have a strategy in mind. It's no good just running ahead and doing this in a haphazard fashion. So what you'll need to do is plan your offer before you email them. You need to do these 4 steps before you send any emails, before you do anything else. You need to be clear on these 4 points. The first one being plan your offer. So you're going to offer these people something. You're emailing them for a reason. You're offering them a service. You're offering them a gift. You're offering them an invitation to an event. You're offering them a free webinar. You're offering them something, but you need to know what exactly you're offering, where it starts, where it ends, and what the limits to your offer are. It's absolutely key to make sure that your offer translates into what you are actually offering them. In other words, make sure that what you're offering them makes sense to you, because if it doesn't make sense to you, it won't make sense to them. Point number 2 is related. You need to make sure that your offer interests the people that you're emailing. And this comes genuinely from a place of honesty. You are familiar with the people that you're going to be emailing from your research that you've done into your target market, and you know what their stresses are. You should by now know what their problems in their day are and where your solution fits in. So, will this email interest them? Will it interest them enough for them to take action? How can you improve the interest factor? Step 3, what is it worth to them? Why is it worthwhile? You need to think about this in real honest terms, and you need to think about your value as a professional, your value as a service, your value as a product. You need to think about what the worth of you, your product, or your service is to the person that you're emailing. The worth question doesn't stop there. It extends to what is this gift, this link, this promotion, this event? What is it worth to the people that you're emailing? Remember, you've got to have a real diligent plan on what it is you're doing, how the interest factor works, and what the worth value is. Now, the fourth one, many people say that it is very similar to step number 3, but it's also very different. So what something is worth is generally monetary. So if you're looking at value, you're talking about improvement to life, to business life, to personal life. You're looking at genuine improvement, genuine step up and a step forward. It's a non-negotiable that this should be something revolutionary to the person that you're contacting, or something that's going to make their life a hell of a lot easier. And that's where your value lies. So why is it valuable? Does start with what effect does it have on their everyday, on their month, on their year, on their figures. You need to know exactly where your value lies and where they'll see your value in their results. Remember that none of this should cost you very much, if anything at all. Before we dive into this next section, if you are still watching on the GoPinLee's website, I just want to encourage you to go ahead and click on the YouTube logo in the video playing window that you see in front of you, because that'll allow you to go ahead and launch that straight into YouTube. Launching it straight into YouTube will give you the opportunity, like Dance Like Nobody's Watching and Kylie Doll, to ask questions in the comments and interact as we go along. On that note, we've got a question here from Kylie. Kylie asks, how would you suggest a person like a personal trainer come up with a value offer? So that's a very interesting question, Kylie. So let's have a look at this for a moment. You're a personal trainer. Your service is made up of your knowledge. It could include the venue where you practice, or if you are looking at freelance or doing remote work, you need to take that into account as well. All of these questions do pull value into your argument. So once you are fully clear on what you're going to be offering, in this case, your knowledge, your strength, your experience, and your support, at the very bare minimum, that is what every personal trainer gives to their clients. You need to start at that very basic foundation level and then layer on the value from there. So consider, if you have a venue that you operate from, consider the functionality, consider the equipment in there, consider the location, consider parking, anything that is going to make people's lives easier, simpler, more convenient. Even if it's underground parking, you keep the rain off people's heads on bad days. These are all things that add value. Now, these are all very basic things, but they do bulk up into something truly remarkable. So also think about yourself and go a little deep there. Think about your experience. Think about valuable stories that have come up in your life, and think about events that you can reference to add a sense of value to what you're offering. The more you can explain and the more personable you can make your explanation, the better it's going to be for you. So if you work off of the concept of a personal trainer, building up value step by step and thinking about what makes you different to the others out there is really where the effectiveness of your campaign is going to lie. That's really where you want to be, first and foremost. Let me know if that answered your question, Kylie, and if not, I'll readdress it. Anyone who's still watching on the website, you're watching me in a YouTube window. If you mouse over that YouTube window, you'll see the YouTube logo, and by clicking on that, you can launch into YouTube's site natively and interact in the comments. We've got some great questions from Kylie and Dance Like Nobody's Watching. Well, Dance Like Nobody's Watching just told us it's sunny in Brighton, and I am envious, to be honest with you. I'd love a bit of sun right now. Let's dive into the ideas section of this webinar. Now, this is a brainstorm that we've done to give you some direction as to how to get your email to be of interest and how to keep that interest. These are ways to make sure that you make your campaign as potent as possible. Number one, your content. Now, content is a controversial topic. Lots of people write long-winded emails. Lots of people write very boring emails, and those campaigns generally don't do very well. They generally don't go very far. So, a new approach is needed, clearly. So you want to keep your emails as interesting as possible. Hot burning topics are key. So what is a hot burning topic? That's something that sounds extremely gimmicky. I guarantee that you're thinking that right now. And it does, because it is. Basically, a hot burning topic is something that's current, could be trending right now on social media, could be in the news right now, could be something directly affecting your industry. This is something you could leverage to gain interest and to get clicks. If you watch YouTube videos very often, you'll be familiar with the term clickbait, which is when people use often misleading messages in order to get people to go ahead and watch their videos. That is not what we're doing here. I repeat, that is not what we're doing here. We are doing this ethically, and we're doing this properly, and we're building working relationships with real people, because at the end of the day, that's who your clients are. So hot burning topics must be real, relevant, appropriate, and accessible. Think about things that affect your industry. Travel agents have content for days, for example. Travel agencies can talk about changing regulations, which change daily. They can talk about all sorts of airplane modifications, service upgrades, delays that have happened, world events that affect travel. The topics you can come up with as a travel agent are enormous. To reference Kylie's question about the personal trainer, hot burning topics within personal training are the amount of personal trainers who mislead people, the amount of people who are losing faith in the gym culture, the upsurgence and the continued upsurgence of the CrossFit movement. All of these things are hot burning topics, and they're things that people genuinely care about. You could have topics on how to know if trail running is best for you as opposed to inner city running. You could have opinion pieces. Hot burning topics are a great way to get people's attention as long as your topic is attention worthy. Now, that may sound like a facetious and basic comment to make, and I do apologize if it seems that way, but the truth of this matter is it is that simple. You want to be interesting, you want to be relevant, and you want people to stay with you at all times. This leads me on to point number 2, how to keep them with you. Invite them to join a Facebook community of yours. So, for example, we have 2 great Facebook communities. We have the Sales Leads and Prospecting group, which is a great way to get support for your email campaign and to check what other people are doing, ask questions. Our team is active, our community is active. It's a great place to be. We also have the GoPin Leads community, which is focused on GoPin Leads. There you can get some support. There you can share tips. There you can share success stories. Also, our team is active there. Our community is active there. And all of the reasons that I've just given you to join our communities are the reasons that people should join yours. People who are in your industry, people who are interacting on the level that you are at, get them into a Facebook group. It's a very powerful tool. The communities there drive the interaction, offer incentives, be communicative, be transparent, post personal messages on there. Video is a great way to go. Anything you can do to put yourself forward in the best light possible in your community and to be as helpful as possible. Encourage good comments, bad comments, feedback of any type is your best friend because it means you're going to nail your service and get even better in the future. Gone are the days of fearing bad reviews. In this day and age, you want all reviews, good, bad, and otherwise, because the more information you get back about what you're doing, the better you can do that exact thing. Step number 3 to move on is a free trial. Free trials are very, very powerful. So, in a very basic sense, they're good for the client because they get something for free. They're good for you because they're a conversation starter. But scratch beneath the surface, and it gets even better. So, for you, free trials allow you to communicate value of your service, of your deliverables. It shows exactly what your clients can expect. So it manages expectations beautifully. It's a fantastic way to make sure that you are covered in your communication, but it's also a great way to make sure that any sort of foibles or problems or challenges that occur in the beginning stages of the project can be addressed really fast. And that gives you footing to when they do sign up, because you're so fabulous in your free trial, it gives you firm footing to run ahead and help them in the best way possible because you've already learned where they're coming from. And it hasn't cost them a cent, and that means that they can get more value as well. For the client, the real value points are your attention level. The real value point as well is the amount of feedback you give them in the free trial. Make sure that it's substantial enough that they feel worthy, they feel valued, they feel like they can trust you. That's important. Step number 4 is a webinar. Now, webinars are very often used by companies to hard sell services, hard sell events, push the fear of missing out, that sort of thing. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's relevant to what your offering is. Our approach is very different. We don't ram sales down people's throats. We don't throw our product in your face. Sure, we mention it in the webinar, but that's only because it's part of the process that we ourselves use. But there's literally no hard sell here. It's not the way we believe is the way to go with a webinar, because with a webinar, it's kind of different. You want to make yourself available. You're setting aside some of your time to improve the experience, the lives of the people who are watching your webinar. So it's a humbling experience because it allows you to communicate with people who are using your product in a real time environment on an everyday basis. If they're struggling, they can talk to you, they can ask questions, you can show them how to solve the problems. It's a powerful thing to do. I encourage you to explore doing a webinar of your own. It gives clients a really good way to connect with you. Do them live, because then any questions that come in, you can answer directly, like the questions that came in, the question that came in from Kylie Doll and the comment from Dance Like Nobody's Watching. It's really important. And I want to encourage anyone who's watching right now to jump in the comments. If you don't see where the comments are, that means you're probably watching on the GoPin Leads website. What you do then is you put your mouse over the YouTube window, click on the YouTube logo, and that will push you through to YouTube's site itself. That'll allow you to comment and interact. So webinars are gold. I recommend you do them. I recommend you watch as many webinars as you can, especially about the tools that you're going to be using, because it's going to really empower you to do better and to kick your performance way up. So event invitations. Events are different to webinars. Sure, webinars are a type of event, but events go deeper and wider than webinars as well. You can do face-to-face events. You can do live online events outside of the webinar format. You can do Facebook Live, Instagram Live. You can go live on other social platforms. You can broadcast yourself in another way, but meet with people. Let them see your face. Meet with them. Face-to-face is great for an invitation to an event. That's a real potent way to reach out to a core group of people and say, I value you, I value your time, I value your input, come and meet me, let's do something great. Or even, let's just get to know each other. Digital gifts. Now, digital gifts are a very, very, very broad topic. I'm going to give you the example of a database. So if you are in the business of preparing lists for people and doing databases, then what you're going to want to do is give away a database for free. Many business owners may gasp and feel horrified at that suggestion, but the fact of the matter is that you can get a huge ROI from giving away a list for free. So make sure that your list follows our 4 points. Make sure it's relevant, make sure it's valuable, make sure you communicate that value, and make sure that you know that it is of the highest quality standards. Your free gift can't be a slapdash effort. It has to be something that shows what your value is, shows the quality level that you output. You want to make sure that everyone knows how good you are. A top 100 list can be an example of a digital gift. Top 100 list is point number 7, and that is something that is also very broad and up to interpretation. Top 100 lists, the most common that most people probably see every day is in the tabloids. Top 100 celebrities, top 100 movies, top 100 articles you must read this summer. Top 100 books. All these are examples of top 100 lists, but there are also applications for you to supply these to people as a gift, a benefit of working with you, of taking action on your email. So top 100 lists can be top 100 earners within a certain bracket, top 100 companies within a certain industry. There are ways to make sure that everything that you give to your list is going to be real, relevant. Make sure that they are going to care about this top 100 list. It's no good giving a list of celebrities to a bank manager. So you want to make sure that everything you're doing is real, relevant, and comes from a place of genuinely wanting to help your client improve something, add value. A top 100 list is not only something of interest, but it's also an opportunity for you to really show an idea of rank, an idea of scale, where things fall in relation to other things, which is where Heat magazine and the like do, the best looking male and female and the like celebrities, because those are ideas of ranks. And people like ranking things. People like to feel like certain things are superior to others. And in many cases, they are. So mention that, and you'll see some real good ROI from there. Another way to go is, where appropriate, do a 30-minute free consultation. So these consultations are going to allow you some real valuable time on the phone with people who need solutions to their problems. You can listen to what they say, and you can gauge where your company, where your service, where your product fits in to their needs. That allows you to completely qualify every single lead that you have a call with right there and then. Make sure that you come prepared, make sure you put your best foot forward, and you will definitely see a solid ROI from the 30-minute free consultation. Okay, so moving along really very swiftly, we're looking at the process. The process is something that you want to pay close attention to, and this is the process of actually finding, emailing, and analyzing. So step 1, find email addresses. Step 2, draft email. Step 3, create email templates. Step 4, develop landing page. Step 5, analyze data. Step 6, rinse and repeat. This rinse and repeat crops up all the time, all the way throughout this, and you'll notice that the reason is it's an iterative process. You're learning from your mistakes, you're learning from your successes, and you're doing it all again in a way that makes sure that your successes are greater than your failures every single time. This is going to get a lot deeper. I'm going to go through each of these steps individually. I want to encourage you to ask any questions that you have brewing in your mind in the questions on YouTube. If you're still watching on the GoPin Leads website, run your mouse over the YouTube window that you're watching in. That'll show the YouTube logo. Click on it. That'll push the video into YouTube natively, and you can comment and interact and see what other questions have been asked. Join legends like Dance Like Nobody's Watching and Kylie Dole, who are interacting like absolute champions. Step number 1, find email addresses. Now, this is where the apparent shameless plug comes in. This is a tool that we've developed. This is a tool that we use ourselves daily, and this is a tool that we're really excited about. It's called GoPin Leads, www.gopinleads.com. But don't worry about that now. Stay in the webinar. I'll send you the URL afterwards in the comments. I'm going to tell you how GoPin Leads came about because it's quite interesting. We had a client who needed a huge amount of results, and they needed them fast. This client needed results from all across the USA in a specific niche, and needed a real good way to get the social details, the LinkedIn details, email addresses, phone numbers, brick and mortar addresses, all of these good things in a very rapid way. So we are, as a company, always looking at ways to save our clients money, save them time, and boost productivity. So what we did is we developed GoPin Leads, and GoPin Leads returns, as I mentioned, company and individual emails, phone numbers, employee job titles and social media accounts, company addresses. Now, this is very comprehensive. This is very powerful stuff, and this is pulled from every which corner of the web to make sure that you get the most relevant and accurate results possible. We are improving the tool all the time, and it's getting better and better all the way along. I'm going to go a bit deeper into the tool and how to use it and the other tools I'm going to be mentioning going forward in the practical section, which is just after this explainer section of our webinar. So step number 2 is to set up email. This is important because you want to make sure that you're addressing this in the way that's going to give you the best chances of success. So YAM is the tool that we like to use for emailing. So YAM stands for yet another mail merge, and as it says on the tin, it is a mail merge tool. Simi, please come here. You want to use YAM to connect your Gmail draft with the list that you're going to be sending to. Please, in the fridge, there's a beer on the top right hand. Please bring me a clean glass in that beer. I need my throat to not be dry. YAM is going to change your life. YAM's going to track things. YAM's going to give you results. YAM's going to show you the results, and YAM's going to make you do better next time with every campaign you do. I'm very excited about YAM. I'm very excited about GoPinLeads. I'm very excited about this process because making things work better and better and better is what makes me get up in the morning. So YAM is great. You can use your own domain or create a new one. Sign up to YAM and it connects with your Google Doc Sheets and your Gmail drafts to create a seamless mail merge. It's fantastic. It allows you also to measure your campaign. I'm going to get more into YAM in a moment in the practical section of this webinar. Step 3 is to create your email template. Just going to pause here for a moment. Please feel welcome once again to drop any comments below, and I will be excited to get back to you with answers. Thank you. You're a darling, and I'm sorry to call you randomly like that. So let's have a look at how to make an email that really converts. The first part of any email and the first thing that anyone will ever see before they even open your email is the subject line. So that's what you really need to get right, first of all. Focus all of your energy initially on that subject line. Be brief, be vague, don't give away too much information up front. If you do, there's no need for them to go any further down your funnel. So make sure that you are being brief, being vague, and then make sure that they open that email and don't just ignore. You want to be relevant. You don't want to be too salesy. You want to actually be quite communicative, but you also want to make it light. You don't want to be the 100th salesman to arrive in their inbox because that's horrible. And they're not going to read your email. You know for yourself how many spam emails you get in a day. You don't want to do that. A great little trick to do, and this is the first webinar that this trick is appearing in. Great trick is to go through your spam emails, look at the subject lines, don't open them because that's not often safe, just look at the subjects, and that will be your crash course in how not to write a subject line. That's a really good way to start. That's a really good way to catch yourself from falling into any bad habits. Our communities will also help you here if you want suggestions of really good subject lines. Our Facebook groups, I'll give you the links after this. Go there, have a chat. Our team, our community are amazing people and they'll help you. So number 2 in this list is, what is the message? Now, in the beginning of the webinar, we talked about how to make sure that you know what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it, and why people should care. So, in other words, you need to know what your message is, and you need to know it backwards and forwards. Knowing what your message is will allow you to communicate it in shorter content. It'll allow you to use fewer words to get your point across. It'll make your email punchier. It'll make your email more valuable as a result. This is really where you want to be. Short, to the point, relevant. Your tone should be as if from a friend. So you don't ever want to be preachy. You never want to be Hard selling, like I mentioned, those are turnoffs. People won't like it. People will feel attacked. People will feel like you're another spammy salesperson, and they'll be turned off by that. So you need to make sure you're getting this right. Like I said, keep the email short. You know for yourself when you open a long email, you want to close it. It takes a lot of energy to read, takes a lot of focus to get through, and generally, it's just not a good look. It's not going to make people want to stick with you. Include a link now. So, knowing that your email is going to be well read, it's going to be well received, you've been short, you've been to the point, they've opened your email, they've read it. Include a link now, and that link will go through to your landing page. I'll show you more about landing pages in the next steps. But you want to make sure that there's a action that they have to take, because you can track that with Yam, you can track who's clicked, and you can really get a fantastic idea of what the status is, what the interest is that you're drumming up in your campaign. Links will be text-based. Don't use link shorteners. People don't trust them. A lot of spammers use them to get around algorithms. Don't use them. I can't stress that enough. Don't use link shorteners. If you want to tidy your links up so you don't have enormous, bulky, long URLs in your email content, do what we did here. You'll see the blue underlined text. Within Gmail, you can very easily add a link, and I'll show you how to do that in the practical section. But adding a link is just going to make your life so much easier, and it's going to make it an extra level of value commitment for your viewers, for your clients, for your target market. So let's get a bit deeper into this email and how to make it amazing. So under your name, put a banner. Now, these banners should change campaign to campaign. These banners should be brand specific, should be for your company, should be in your colors, should be in your font, and it should be relevant to what you're talking about in your email or a promotion that's running at the moment. Localize this as much as you can. We have been massively transparent in ours, including our addresses, including 5 different contact numbers for global locations, including as well an unsubscribe option. Now, you want to create variations of this, and you want to measure what works the best. Some designs you may find just don't appeal to people. Some designs you may find are absolute clickbait, well, not clickbait, but click gold mines. So that's the territory you're aiming for, always, ideally. Graphic or link, that refers to what I was talking about previous slide as well. Don't use link shorteners. Use a text-based link. For things like a banner, you can also use a graphic link, which would mean when they click on your banner, the action goes out to your website or through to your webinar. Whatever the case may be, that is where the value of a banner lies, because it's visual, it's eye-grabbing, and you can have it actioned as a link. The dimensions of your email are massively important. These are really crucial. Pay attention to the editing, pay attention to the spacing, pay attention to the font size, pay attention to every aspect of your email. Make sure it flows, make sure it looks good, and make sure that it's not bulky, too cluttery. You want to look good. You want to look like you know what you're doing. So follow-ups are going to be your email step number 2. Follow-ups are crucial. You're going to send 1 follow-up per email campaign. You're going to remind them about the deadline, and you're going to provide them with the sign-up link. These are crucial. So the follow-up is going to be saying something along the lines of, we sent you an invitation, we sent you an email, you didn't do anything with it, here it is again. Now, you want to make sure that the fear of missing out, that the sense of urgency is recommunicated here. Make sure that everybody knows this is limited. This is going away at some point. You need to act now. That's the message you want to send. Provide them with a link to action this. So they're not going to go and find your old email. They're not going to do a search in their inbox. They're busier than that. They've got a really long day ahead of them. So give them a link again. Provide the link there. And the great thing is, YAML will track who opened it, YAML will track who clicked it, YAML will track who clicked it. And then you'll be able to see what works, what doesn't work, and your whole process becomes buttery smooth and amazing. At this point, I just want to reiterate something that I've said a few times. If you've heard it before, please bear with me. If you're still watching on the Gopin Leads website, you are missing out on talking about the fear of missing out. You're missing out on some opportunities to interact in the comments. So you'll see that you're watching me in a YouTube window. Run your mouse over that window, click on the YouTube logo. It'll pop you into YouTube itself, and you can then interact in the comments. I'm going to pause here. Anyone that has a question, anyone that has a story, a statement, anything that you want to share, pop that into the comments now. Ooh, that was quick. I just got a comment in from Chunky McNugget. Please forgive me if I have mispronounced that. So the comment is, "Hi Jeff, Chicago is chilly but sunny. Thin crust is better than deep dish pizza. Fight me. What analytics should businesses use when choosing third parties like Gopin Leads for mass marketing emails?" So choosing third parties, that is going to be interesting. So analytics is something that is going to be depending massively on what you're using there, Chunky McNugget. So sorry, your username is making me laugh. So we'll address the pizza in a moment, but your analytics in this example are going to come from two places. Your landing page is going to have analytics that come along with that, so you'll be able to see some analytics from there. Now, YAM, I'll show you in the practical as well there, Chunky McNugget. You'll see that YAM also gives you some analytics. They are quite basic analytics with YAM, but it really is just enough to give you the direction you need and to steer your rudder for your next step and your next level of campaign. Now, on the topic of pizza, never been to Chicago, which I am definitely intending to fix. Want to go. Love everything I've heard about Chicago. I agree. In South Africa, thin crust is king. Deep dish creeps into the mix occasionally, but I agree with you on the thin crust. Definitely. If anyone wants to fight us on that, you can go ahead, I suppose. But let's go ahead with the webinar. Anyone else that has any comments, go ahead and send me a message on YouTube in the comments there. So let's move forward to step number 4, the landing page. Your landing page is where your link invariably is going to lead to. There are some exceptions, but for this, I'm going to show you how to use a landing page to the best effect. All right, so study the landing page snippet on the right, and I'll walk you through it. So, landing pages are great for analytics, like Chunky McNugget was asking about, but also for conversion, communication, something tangible, communicating a fear of missing out. You do want to use a landing page, and I'm going to show you why. So you can use a tool for this. You can develop your own HTML page for that. That's a bit of a mission, so using a tool is a great way to go. Landing pages are something that's only going to last as long as your campaign does. So, you know, using a tool makes a lot of sense. It really makes your life a lot easier. 2 examples of tools. One is LaunchRock, the other is Instapage. Both fairly similar. They do both have benefits of their own, but these tools are really great for launching a landing page and making sure that you can do key things, capture people's details, send them a fear of missing out message, make sure that you communicate how good you are. Let's have a look at how you do that. So you want to have an introduction. Your introduction is paramount, but it's also going to have to be short, I'm afraid, because like we said in the email, no one's going to sit about and read long text. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it relevant. Really good way to go. Also include a testimonial. If you look at the bottom of the right-hand side of the screen right now, you'll see that the testimonial that we used has a photo, it has a quote, it has a job title, has a name, has a business name. This is something that is going to go a long way because it's real, it's believable, it's tangible, and it's vettable. You know, if you want to make the effort to go and find the person that gave that testimonial, you can. Always be honest, never make them up. Just be very honest, be very upfront, show people exactly how valuable you are. Make them trust you from this stage already. Your page should create FOMO. Who knows what FOMO is? Let me know in the comments. So FOMO, I'll let you know what that means in a moment. Let's see if anyone comments and knows. But FOMO is something that is very desirable, and it's very much another way of saying a sense of urgency. But who knows what FOMO stands for? All right, so you all seem stumped, or you're too nervous to comment. It stands for fear of missing out. I encourage you all to comment, yes, 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 dance like nobody's watching. I think my connection was a little slow there. Dance like nobody's watching has said fear of missing out. Absolutely right. Gold star, golden points there. So fear of missing out is what you want. Why? Because it'll make people sign up. It'll make people click. It'll make people care. So a lot of the time, people look at the landing page and they don't know how to communicate a sense of FOMO, how to create that urgency. It's easy. Put a countdown on the page. Real quick, very visual, shows in days, hours, minutes, seconds how long they have left to act. And that creates real urgency, tangible, usable urgency. Now, put a form on there as well so that whoever lands on this page can enter their name, email, telephone number. Try and keep it to those three because it's a put off to fill in a really long form. People don't really like it. So, yeah, what you'll really want to do is make sure that you're doing this well, make sure you're doing it professionally, and don't put people off. First name and last name sometimes is even too much. Sometimes people don't like that. You know your target market and how rushed they personally are. But name, email, telephone number, those are generally the basics and a great place to get this information would be your landing page. Now, we're going to move straight on to step number 5, which is the data analysis section. And this really comes back to your question there, Chunky McNugget. So with the landing page and with the tools that we're using, you will have access to your analytics. Now, I'm going to be talking mainly here about the analytics on the side of YAM. YAM is great. YAM is simple. YAM is very powerful. And I'm going to give you an example of this in real time when we go ahead and do the practical. But just to give you the lay down of the land right now, you can analyze data using YAM. You can see who opened your email. You can see who you sent your email to, who opened it, who clicked on the link. It's great. You can also see who typed you a response and sent it to your inbox. YAM tells you all of these cool things. So yeah, it's a great tool. How you find this is I'll show you again in the practical, but go to Google Sheets where your list is, go to the menu bar, choose add-ons, yet another mail merge, and open the tracking report. It'll allow you to really see what's going on with your campaign. But step 6 is the part that makes all interns roll their eyes. It's to repeat, 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 do it again, get better as you do. So adjust your approach. There's no point doing the same thing again. There's an old quote that is often attributed to Einstein saying that if you do the same thing and expect different results every time, it's a sign of madness. I don't know if that really is a quote of his, but it's true. So, what you want to do is try different things, experiment, go crazy, refine your email target by trying new sectors, trying new geographies, trying new job titles. Try reaching different people. Try reaching different titles within different companies, within different geographic locations. You're going to get better results if you play around with this. You'll also get to know, you'll get a sense of expertise down the line of what works and what doesn't, and you'll waste less time and you'll be a lot more efficient, a lot more effective, and you'll be banging these campaigns out like it's going out of fashion. So, offer new incentives within the emails and landing pages. This I can't stress enough. I see so many emails that never change. The banner stays the same, the content stays the same. The offer could change, but very little else does. This is what you want to avoid. Never do that to people. It's boring and you waste their time. You don't want to ever do that to people. So your best scenario is to make sure that everything you're sending has a new incentive, a new payoff, a new landing page, a new banner in your email. Make sure that you're making the effort. People will notice, they will appreciate it. And your variety is going to be one of the biggest areas of your success. Trust me on this. All right. Additionally, we need to talk about the banners. I know I've mentioned already that you need to change your banners, but I can't stress this enough. Your banners relevance is so important. So if you're going to have a banner, make it relevant. There's nothing worse than unnecessary or irrelevant stuff in an email, and a banner is included in that. So make sure that it's usable, that it works, and that it's something that is going to be uh, useful to you, useful to your client, your receiver as well. The next section is about GoPin leads hacks. So before I dive in there, I'm going to do the practical section of this webinar with you. Please drop me a message at any time if you have any questions, and I will be able to answer those for you live as we go. I'm always here for you. I'm always interested in keeping you fully updated with what we're doing. Never feel like you're left behind. Never feel afraid of asking a question. There are no such things as stupid questions. Always ask, always interact. We love it. So on the screen before you, you see the GoPin Leads web app. And the reason for this is we're going to find some people to email to kick off this practical section. Let me know in the comments if you've used GoPin Leads web app or if you use the Chrome extension more often. Later on in the webinar, I'm going to be telling you which to use for what and why as part of our 4 hacks, but hang around for that. For now, I'm going to show you how the web app works, how the Chrome extension works, and walking you through what comes next. Okay, so I'm going to do a search very simply for social media agencies, and I'm going to look in London, England. Obviously, before you do all of this, you'll log in, but that's part of the course and really simple. So this is what happens once you've done your search for social media agencies near London in the UK. You get a list of businesses. For this example, I'm going to go ahead and select all. The cool thing is when you select all, you get all the details that are available. I'm going to go forward a step and I'm going to say add businesses. and that's going to pull through the leads. I'm on the leads tab and it's showing me all the leads that have come through. And again, I'm going to say select all because I want all of the leads. As I've done that, I'm going to choose add leads. So now that I've done that, I'm going to send these 12 results to myself. It's remembered my email address from when I've logged in, and all I have to do now is press export businesses and leads, and that will send through to me. Now that I want to do another search, I'm going to press start another search. I am, however, going to show you the Chrome extension for Gopin Leads as our other search. So here I'm going to do a search for bars in New York City. Please excuse the typo there. New York City bars. So I can change the area that I want to search and press search this area. These are all native functionalities within Maps. When I have the area that I want to target, I go up to the Gopin Leads Chrome extension and give it a click. I've already logged in here, so it shows me all of the results that it's returned. I'm going to say select all, and then add businesses using the big yellow button. While using the tool, there are often very helpful tips and tricks on how to use the tool better that are displayed. Pay attention to these. They could make all the difference. So I've selected the businesses that I want to add, and I've gone add businesses. As with the web app, I now have the list of leads that have been pulled through, and I'm going to, once again, select all and scroll all the way down to make sure I get all the results. Then, once again, the big yellow button to add the leads. Again, it's remembered the email address that I've put in, and now it'll send them to me when I press export businesses and leads. So that's really quick, really easy, and regardless of whether you use the Chrome extension or the web app, you will get an email that is very similar looking in style. Okay, so while that generates, which won't take more than a few minutes, I'm going to show you what you can do with the next steps. So this is all about your email draft. Now this will be in your Gmail. As you can see, you're in my Gmail right now. And I've got a draft open. And the title of the draft for this example is Webinar First Name Draft. And that's because I'm showing you an example of how to insert a first name into your email. So you'll want to write your email as hi, and then use these curved brackets twice. First name is the test email from the webinar. Cold emailing is an awesomely productive way of growing your business. Click here to start today with Gopin Leads. Book a call with me below to learn more. Here you can see my book a call link. So there's another way to go as well. If you don't want to use first names but would rather use business names, you can say hi and use business name instead, and the body of the email is the same. The email from Gopin Leads will look like this. You'll be able to download the results using the big yellow button, or like I prefer to do, view the database in Sheets by clicking on the link below the big yellow button. This will launch your database through to Google Sheets, and this is what you need to do to use it really effectively. You want to go to File as soon as you've opened your database in Sheets and make a copy. The reason you're doing this is you're moving the Leads database from our server, from our Google Drive onto your own, and that'll give you all of the editing rights that you want to make this happen. Go ahead and close the old one because you've got everything you need right here and it's saved in your drive. You'll see this first line, it's fairly useless. It just has a description for your own information. You can go ahead and delete that row to make sure that the first row is the yellow one with business name, address, phone number, Google Maps, and so on. So here you can see different tabs in the results you've gotten from GoPin Leads. You've got the Businesses tab, which shows you strictly business information, business name, address, phone number, Google Maps URL, website URL, and where applicable, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and a whole lot more, including Facebook, Instagram, email, domain metadata, and the description that is related to that. So the other tabs, if you look at the bottom of your screen, are Leads. So Leads is the tab that includes the first name field, and that is what we'll use for our first name draft. Obviously, your subject will differ greatly, and it won't be first name draft. That would be ridiculous. So here you've got all of the last business names, job titles, email addresses where applicable, LinkedIn accounts, so you can go ahead and connect with these people on LinkedIn. Website URLs, company phone numbers, and address. This is a brick and mortar address. Then the third tab along is Leads with no names. And this is really where your business name draft is going to come into its own. Leads with no names, you can sometimes, like with the first example here, extrapolate what the first name probably is. But the quickest, easiest way to action emails to all of these people is to use the business name field, as we've done here. Now, I'm not going to email all of these people as an example for you because my message will be irrelevant to them. I've created a separate private database with just our company employees in it, and they expect to receive this email every time I do a webinar to make sure that nobody else does. So what you want to do is go to add-ons, yet another mail merge, and select start mail merge. Before you do this, you'll want to make sure that you know what your draft is called. In this case, it's called webinar first name draft because that's the one I'm going to be using. Like we said, we go add-ons, yet another mail merge, and start mail merge. Yam launches up, and what it's doing is it's connecting your sheets that you're in right now to your Google Drafts, and it's making sure that the connection is solid. So here we've got a message because I've used this list before. It gives you information that there has been a bounce previously from this list. Should we skip them from this campaign? I'm going to say no in this case because I want to show you what happens when an email bounces. So I've chosen from the list of my drafts, webinar first name draft. So as you can see, this box is ticked track emails opened, clicked, or bounced. That's critical. Before I go ahead and send this email though, I want to receive a test email, so I click on that button, and that'll make sure that I get an email in my inbox that nobody else receives that uses the first name here from my database to test that the code has worked. You need to check your test email to make sure that it is exactly the way you want it to come out. Here you can see it has worked. It says, "Hi, Jeff," instead of "Hi, first name." So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and send those 5 emails, and Yam is going to go ahead now and link these 5 email addresses that I've asked it to send to my Google Drafts, and send the first name draft to those 5 emails. Immediately, you will see that it's updated to say email sent. If any of these emails had bounced, the message would have come up here saying that the email had bounced, and that would mean that the email address would not be included. It would give you the message you saw earlier that you don't want to include that email again because it bounced. So, yeah, you can see that the messages have been sent. As these are actioned, you'll be able to see more information as we go along. So you'll see that the tracking report in real time has updated because I went and opened one of the test emails. I'll show you what happens when you open more than one. So I've gone ahead and opened the test emails, and what that allows me to do is see how many people have clicked, how many people have opened, and how many of these emails have bounced. So at this point, I'm going to tell you how to interpret these results. This is the Yam tracking report that I mentioned. When it goes away, or if you close it accidentally, you can open it going to add-ons, yet another mail merge, and open tracking report. In a moment or two, that'll open your tracking report on the right-hand side. But bearing in mind, under merge status column, you can also see what has happened in your campaign. So here you can see that this email address clicked on the link. Here you can see that this email address bounced. Here you can see that this email address, the email has simply been sent, and the same goes along with the rest of them. Now, the reason that that email bounced is simply so that we can make sure that you see what happens there. I made it incomplete on purpose. I removed the M from com. So that is, in essence, how Yam shows you what worked and what didn't. Now, how do you interpret this? So, if the status stays on emails sent, that means your subject line didn't cut the mustard. It means you didn't get their attention. So let's do better next time. If it says opened, you know that the email has been opened. That shows you that your subject line was probably all right, but it also shows you that nobody clicked through. So if somebody had clicked through, you would have seen that result, and you would have been able to know that people have clicked through to your landing page, as it's happened here. So if the email bounces, obviously, as you can see on the screen, you can see that it's bounced. I'm going to open the tracking report again, going add-ons, yet another mail merge, and open tracking report. I refreshed the page and it closed. So that's a good example of when you may need to do that. Now you know what worked. You know that if the email was clicked, that your link worked. Yeah, you can see another email was opened. So you can see as it goes in real time, you get the results trickling in, and your tracking report summarizes all of it for you. You can also manage unsubscriptions. You can really go to town with Yam. It's a great tool. Okay, so you know how to get the emails, you know how to send the emails, you know how to get the leads that you're going to be sending them to, and you know how to interpret the results you get. The only thing that remains for you to do is to really practice, practice, practice. Get this right. Learn from your mistakes, do it again, do it again, do it again, and boost your results. So what I want to show you now is going to help you a lot. Okay, this is a quick video I'm going to share with you about, this is a quick video I'm going to share with you about GDPR It's something that I recorded for you earlier today. And watch this. GDPR relates to the Europe area. It's a anti-spam law. And bear in mind that while this is about GDPR, countries like Canada that have the CAN spam law, anti-spam laws in Canada, this applies to you as well. So watch this, and I will jump back with you in just under 2 minutes when this is over. Okay, so I see that the audio from the video isn't coming through. My apologies for that, but let me tell you what's being said anyway. So, if you are wanting to contact people who are in a GDPR or in the Canada Can Spam affected areas, what you want to make sure is that you have got their consent. There's a few ways to go and get their consent. First way is with email. You can ask them their permission to send them more information. You can do that if you can prove that there is absolute interest in that. They call it legitimate interest. If there's a legitimate interest in what you're emailing them and you can show that, then that's perfect. If not, you can't do it that way. Another way to go, this is foolproof, is go via social media. Social media is going to be a win for you because social media is the way that it's set up is that people have to give their consent before they even go ahead and sign up. So they've given their consent to be contacted. What this means for you is you can send them a message on social media introducing yourself, and that's perfectly legal. That's fine because they've agreed to be contacted by being part of that system, Facebook, Twitter, and the like. So thanks for telling me, Kylie, and dancing like nobody's watching, that there's no sound. I'm glad that you told me that because now I can jump in and tell you precisely what was being said in that message as well. The great news is that GoPin Leads, as part of our continued advancements, we're pushing forward to make sure that you have everything that you need to make sure that you can connect GoPin Leads with LinkedIn. And that's a competency that's coming down the line. So keep your eyes peeled and keep on our communities. Now I'm going to walk through a couple of hacks for GoPin Leads with you. Now, these hacks are going to make your life a lot easier. I'm going to run through them quick, and then I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and implement them. So the two that I can show you practically, I will. Number one, subtract irrelevant results. You use the subtract or hyphen prefix to remove keywords you don't want. For example, coffee shops, restaurants, etc. Let's jump straight out of this hacks list and show you how that's done. So we're in the GoPin Leads web app once again. Here I'm going to do the search that I previously did using the Chrome extension. I'm going to do bars and I'm going to look in, let's keep it different this time. Let's do bars near Boston, Massachusetts, home to some of the best music in the world, in my opinion. So we have bars in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, I'm going to go ahead on the businesses page and select all. Go down, you can see load more. I'm going to do that until I can't anymore because I'm greedy and I want all the leads I can possibly get to reach people in Boston who own a bar. Then I'm going back up to the top of the page and I'm selecting add businesses. So the businesses tab has now pulled through into the leads tab. Now this is where all the fun happens with your filtering. Here you'll see the search filter box. The search filter box is where your life is going to change and you can remove anything that you don't want to include. So our search was for bars in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm going to remove any bars that like to use the keyword pub. So I type this hyphen or subtract key, pub, and I press enter, and that'll make sure that my leads are updated. So any keywords with pub mentioned have been taken away. And I can then, in the usual way, select all and add the leads through. Super easy, super easy. So let's look at the second hack. Now, this is about using reviews to your advantage. Niche searches work best using Google Maps and GoPinLeads Chrome extension combination. The tool searches through reviews, which boosts accuracy. So things like museums, anything that may be reviewed, is absolutely golden using the Google Maps GoPinLeads Chrome extension with one exception, and that exception is number 3, hotels and accommodation. So with hotels and accommodation, it's slightly different. Hospitality key for that is that Google has played with the algorithm for people who are trying to sell rooms. It's not as straight up and down as it used to be. They have played with the algorithm there a little bit, so it doesn't return all of the results, it returns select results. So use the web app for that, it'll be a lot better for hotels. City discrepancies, so there's a fix if you're finding leads that are not from the same city. This is another one I'll show you practically. You just add the city name in the filter box alongside the country name. Now, this could happen. Um, I've shown you how to do it in the web app. I'm going to show you how to do this next tip in the Chrome extension because it is the same filter box that you're going to be using. So here you want to look, I've done the search for bars near New York, USA. I'm adding all the businesses through. Then on the next page, I have the lead section. And once again, you have the search filter box. Here, I'm going to remove anyone that is not specifically from New York, New York. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that anyone that is from Long Island is not included. So what we're going to do is put in only New York. So I'm going to reiterate by saying New York. I'm going to put in my minus symbol and say Long Island minus. And now this could happen for a number of reasons. Information online can be conflicting. People could maybe commute in from one location to work in another. There are many reasons why you may need to do this additional layer of refinement, but it is very easy, very quick to do using the tool. You can put in variations such as NYC as well, and that'll give you real good results. Now, things that I would avoid is over filtering because that would limit what you get back. So those are the 4 hacks that I have for you today, and those are going to make your life a hell of a lot easier using the tool. So this brings me to the end of our session today. I want to say thank you, and I want to give you as much information as I can to make sure that you're fully equipped to be successful going forward. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kill my screen share, and I'm going to start sending you links in the comments on YouTube. And what those comments are going to do are they're going to give you an opportunity to really easily click on everything that we have been talking about today and get your ducks in a row, get yourself up and running. So the first thing I'm going to send you is the GoPinLeads website. This is gopinleads.com, and I'm going to pop that for you in the comments. So gopinleads.com is where you go to find Gopin Leads and everything about us. It's a great way to find what we're doing. Now I'm going to send you the link to download the Chrome extension. So this will take you straight to the Google Chrome store and you can download our Chrome extension super easily that way. Next link I'm going to give you is to our web app. This is the Gopin Leads web app where you can do all of your searches. And like we mentioned, this is the best one to use for hotels. I'm also going to give you the Google Chrome URL that'll take you through to YAMS Chrome extension so you can really make the most of your mail merge competencies there. The next one I'm going to give you is simply the URL to YAMS website so you can learn more about everything that they're doing there. That will give you a lot of data to go on. The last one I'm going to give you is an example of the landing page tool that we've used today, which is LaunchRock. LaunchRock is going to be a big win for you because it's going to allow you to be fully immersed in what you're doing. I'm also going to give you the links to our Facebook communities. So those are going to come into the comment as well. And the first one that I'm going to give you is for our Gopin Leads community. So the Gopin Leads community is going to be the best place for you to interact with our community and our team to get real useful tips, tricks, and tools of how to make everything in your life a lot easier. The next one I'm going to give you is the sales leads and prospecting group that we have on Facebook. And that's a great way to really nail in your content, your prospecting process, your email copy. You can ask for feedback, you can ask for tips, tricks, whatever you like there. And that'll make your life a lot easier. Please take the next couple of moments to ask me any questions that you may have in the comments, and I will definitely answer you. And I'm also going to, in the comments, give you my email address so that you can reach me after this and contact me at any time. So I'm open to questions. I'm open to jumping on a call with you. I'm open to absolutely any communication with you that you need, because I'm going to make sure that everything you do on Gopin Leads is successful. I'm Jeff. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at Gopin Leads. The email address is jeff.a@goodmanlantern.com. It's in your comments right there. Please do yourself a favor, do me a favor, pop me an email. Let's jump on a call together. Let's make something awesome happen. In the comments today, we've had some real good interaction. Pop me any more questions if you have them. Big, big, big loving shout outs all the way to Brighton for Dance Like Nobody's Watching, to the USA Culpepper, to Kylie, to Chunky McNugget in Chicago. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. It's been great to have you all here, and I am absolutely stoked about getting your emails after this. I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you, and I hope I do. Have a great one, and I will see you on my email. Cheerio, everyone. Have a powerful Wednesday afternoon.